Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 236 of the Classic Elite Podcast. My name is Scott, and the marathon man with me today is Dustin. What's going on, man?
I've been home by myself all day.
I could tell. Great. There were a couple of times where I tried to schedule the podcast, and you were on a mission in Resident Evil today, and I assumed I probably could have scheduled that on our YouTube channel, but I didn't want to take any chances, so I just let it go. But I'm surprised you have enough energy to podcast with how much streaming you did today. Did you enjoy it? I didn't get to watch any of it.
It was great.
And
I'm on the hunt for a platinum trophy.
That answers my question. I was going to see if you had achieved it on stream or not, or if you're still just on your way there.
Yeah, still on my way there.
Cool. Now, have you completed the game and you're just going back and collecting stuff, or have you not reached the... Okay. Cool. Resident Evil 7, man. You weren't kidding. You really like it.
It's great.
Nice. Also, Dustin, I was digging through our audio statistics from the feed thing we use, and I want to give a shout out to our Japanese, French, and German listeners. We have done surprisingly well there recently, and actually, those three are more than the UK and Canada, which shocks me since they're not native English-speaking countries.
Yeah.
So cool. Definitely very, very cool. It's weird. I've talked about it before, but it still feels like there's like four of us. There's like some people in chat, a couple of comments, and that feels like kind of it, you know? And then you see things ticking through, and it's really cool. So if you live in one of those three countries, hello, and thank you very much for tuning in. But before we get into video game news, there's actually a shocking amount of it to cover. Some very cool stuff. So just after E3 to have all this is great. But before we do jump in, man, how has the week been? Your training-free week?
Much better.
Awesome.
Been pretty chill. Back, like, normal work week. Although, Kim finally decided that she was sick of the bathroom and she's having it remodeled.
By having it remodeled, that means hiring other people to do it, or is this a Dustin job?
No, she hired someone who could actually do it.
Okay. So your bank account will go down, but you won't be wanting to go shooting every single day and blowing off steam, you know?
Yeah.
Bathrooms are really scary because they can go sideways on you real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But it also could be incredibly straightforward, or you got to be thinking like, oh, I could have hung a medicine cabinet and painted around that stuff.
Well, it's extensive. Like right now, my bathroom is gone.
Down to the studs?
Like it is. They broke it all and pulled it out and put it in the front yard, and a man with a giant truck came and took it away. Nice.
You should have just left it out there and be like, this is the South.
Yeah, right.
I'm kidding. That's rude. So
I'm not going to get rid of this toilet in my front yard.
I could totally prop up a car with it down the road.
Where else am I going to put my yard sale sign?
Well, that's cool that you're getting it remodeled. It'll. I've been watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, and there's in one of the recent episodes I watched. Larry David was offered a house tour, and he kind of declined because he's like, I don't know what a house looks like. You'll show me rooms. I'll pretend I care. You'll have to be showing people your bathroom. They'll come over. You're like, you got to pee? Do you want to see the bathroom? You sure you don't want to go?
Come check it out. You showered today? Come on in.
No, you got to try this. Trust me. It's amazing. Make them throw in a bidet for you. I'm telling you. It's the greatest thing in the world.
A bidet? Oh, yeah. That would be awesome. I wonder if I can make that happen.
You definitely can. There's inexpensive attachment ones, but you should get... If you're getting a new toilet and some pro's going to put it in for you, I don't know, maybe it'll only be another $100.
It's a really small bath.
Well,
I could put it in the closet.
We'll get a clip-on one, like those install yourself. They're like $40 on Amazon. Pretty easy. Nonetheless, I'm saying, just since you're there, you might as well get all fancy with it. So,
this is the second bathroom. This is the one that Saul uses the most, or like guest bathroom.
Oh, you don't want to give a 4-year-old a bidet.
No, I want the bidet.
Yeah,
put it in my.
He'll be treating it like a garden hose because he won't know any better.
The water fountain. Oh.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. Oh, we got an Aussie listener. Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Gosh, it's morning for you. Good morning.
Yeah. Good day.
Thursday morning. That is very cool. That's 2 Australian listeners we can confirm. We had we got our buddy Retro Kaiser, still from way back in the day. I don't have anything like real exciting or fun to talk about. I've had a good week, so that's been fun. Still in the golf mode, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I guess we'll just kind of go from there. Let's talk about some news, man.
Let's do it.
So, news dropped today that the SEGA Forever program is going to be released. And SEGA Forever, Dustin, is an initiative by SEGA to release old SEGA games on iOS and Android for free. They are legit games that SEGA has went and made an official emulator for it. The games will have saves, they'll have Bluetooth controller support, and they'll have online leaderboards. The starting games are going to be Sonic the Hedgehog, Comics Zone, Altered Beast, Kid Chameleon, and Phantasy Star 2. And again, they're free, or you can per game pay $1.99 to remove the ads.
Ooh, per game.
But just to remove the ads.
Yeah.
There's no microtransaction. It's the full experience. You get all the support, all the save state functionality. So if you want to get rid of ads, you have that opportunity, but you don't miss any game if you leave them in there.
How does Sega care more about their IPs than like Konami and Capcom combined?
That's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about. Sega is looking like the most brilliant, stealthily successful game company right now.
Right? Even like the best part about all of this is, did you watch the video for it?
No, I did not watch the trailer.
The video's the best part.
Really?
Yeah, the video is this guy. It's like totally 90s. It's this guy with crazy hair is a mad scientist, and he's putting all these Sega games in a basket, and he's sucking all the Sega games and throwing them in a phone.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then at the end, like, it shows all the different games that are going to be available, and then it says, "Welcome to the next level," which was their ad campaign from the 90s.
Yeah.
And then it goes through all the legal stuff, and then the guy who's the mad scientist does the Sega yell.
Just the
at the end. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Does he do the old, in-your-face, like, sportsy, aggressive Sega? Or is it the Sega?
No, it's the aggressive.
Okay. All right, cool. I think the soft one only appeared in the games, like Altered Beast or Sonic when it started.
Yeah.
I think in the commercial, they always had the aggressive Sega. So I love the idea of Sega having really high quality ports available for free. Yeah.
Oops.
That picked up really well.
That was all of them. That was 2 Segas and a Toasty.
Toasty. I mean, God, if Konami would just look at this and go, oh, all we have to do is develop a good emulator and just collect ad revenue, or people will pay to turn them off. Like,
yeah.
I think Sega is going to make a nice chunk of change here, and it's only going to help keep Sonic awareness available, and I'm pretty excited about both the Sonic games coming out. I think they'll be all right.
I think July Sonic Awareness Month.
July Sonic Awareness Month. That's great. Paul says that he's like, I want a high quality port of Alex the Kid. You'll probably get it. I mean, that's a really big IP for them. I mean, that's a really well-known Master System game and whatnot. So I bet that you see that. Because if you look at the ones they released, these are all really big Genesis or Mega Drive names.
Mm-hmm.
So
just getting Phantasy Star 2 on your phone for free is awesome.
Kid Chameleon's another big, huge game. I don't care for that one as much unless I have a Game Genie. Because then you can have all the weird helmets and stuff and unlimited lives. Because I remember Kid Chameleon being really tough.
Yeah.
I've never played Comics Zone. So I can
imagine how that would play on a phone. You definitely want a Bluetooth controller for that.
Yeah. So at least it has that option, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I wonder how low level the emulator will get. I should try it on my old Motorola 2013 Moto X. It runs Android 5.1. It's almost 4 years old now.
Yeah.
That'd be a good test to see how well that runs. Because if it runs well on that hardware, I mean, almost anything that's compatible with the current App Store, at least on the Google side, will have it work. So, yeah, it's called SEGA Forever, and the website to see what games are available is just sega.com/forever, which is just great. So,
I threw an article link in the chat for the guys.
Oh, yes. It's nice of you. Look at us. Giving back. Next, this is just a quick thing I wanted to mention because we're both fans of the series. It looks like there was a rumor that seems substantial as far as confirming the third Tomb Raider game, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And I just bring it up because we had talked about the development team working on the Avengers stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And putting Deus Ex on the shelf and whatnot. So
yeah,
I didn't expect to see a confirmation for the third Tomb Raider. I figured it was coming. But it's cool. It means it's sooner rather than later.
I still haven't played the sequel, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, you only played the first one?
Yeah.
I
didn't even get on that.
It's one of those that's mechanically better. I don't think the story's better, but it felt better to play. And it's relatively short. I think 10 or 12 hours to rip through the whole thing. Probably 20 to platinum. So, also, I wanted to mention real quick, Blizzard is going to be remastering Diablo 2 and Warcraft 3. And Blizzard's also, did I put this on the notes? No. They're also partnering with Twitch for some exclusive tournament coverage coming up.
Okay.
And you can get like a skin if you're a Twitch Prime member or something like that, and you link your accounts. But Blizzard's really saddling up to Twitch, and it's different because remember a year or two ago they were really going after that ESPN exposure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like the idea of them just embracing kind of what it is. Mainstream television will take care of itself.
Yeah.
You know, so. But Warcraft 3, I'm kind of excited to see some remastered pros, or some pros play the remastered stuff. Because that's where Dota and all that came from, and League of Legends. So. Also, did you happen to see this trailer that Dumez sent us?
I did. Yeah, it's Pixel Shinobi, and it is right now. It's an early. Well, at the time of the video, it was early access, and it looks really cool. It's kind of a shout out game to like old ninja games.
Yeah,
and it's has a small ninja sprite, but he moves like super fast, and he can scale up walls, and yeah, it looks really cool.
That was the thing I wanted to talk about with that game. It just looks such a satisfying quickness with the not only the way he jumps around and moves, but the way he swings the weapon around. Just the sprite animation was so neat looking. It looked satisfying to play. And the trailer was awesome. So yeah, Demez, thanks for pointing that out. And it's in early access, but it seemed relatively inexpensive. I don't remember off the top of my head, but $10 or less, I think.
Yeah. I think so.
Which is very cool. Yeah, Paul just fell out of his chair. He says D2 and Warcraft 3 remasters. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people extremely excited about that. I bet my little brother gets into Diablo Remastered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of his favorite games. Next, did you happen to check out the PlayStation PartyLink thing?
A little bit. It's basically you get to play games like you do the Jackbox Party Pack.
Yeah, so there will be native games, and I'm assuming that they're going to use an application versus a website like Jackbox does. But essentially, this PartyLink is going to be a way for certain PlayStation games to allow local users to use their phones as controllers instead of needing actual extra controllers. So, I love that idea, because Jackbox works so well.
It does.
And, man, I hope I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that a developer is able to really do something neat with a PlayStation VR game, and having everybody in the room have a control basis, a really good input system, while someone else is locked in VR. Could be pretty cool. The next thing, this blew my mind, Dustin. Super Nintendo controllers for the Switch.
You have 8-bit do controllers, right?
I have 8-bit do dongles.
Okay. Those work all right?
They work excellent.
Yeah.
All of my NES streams, since I've had the AVS, have been using that with a PS4 controller.
Cool.
I've never had any issues with my Super Nintendo in it, so I'm quite confident. And yeah, 8-bit do is releasing a SNES-shaped controller. It has 2 analog sticks on it and 4 shoulder buttons. It's supposed to be a direct substitute for a Pro controller.
That's awesome.
See you, JJ. Yeah. And they have an American and a Famicom version. So
That's
you can
awesome
get the old blue and red and yellow colors or whatever, which I don't have any nostalgia for, but I love the look of that. And I don't know if it's because it is clearly just better than purple and pink, or if it's just because it was unattainable and it looks like a really cool twist on what I'm used to.
Yeah.
But and I've held off on a Pro controller. So if these come in at like $40, I'll just get 2 of them for the price of a Pro controller. And 8-bit do also released firmware. So all their old controllers have not perfect compatibility with the Switch, but they work with the Switch now.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
What?
That's an awesome thing to do.
Right? To support products that weren't meant for a new system. Instead of coming out with a new Switch SKU, they just worked on getting it to work. That's amazing.
Yeah.
8-bit do. I'm a fan so far.
Yeah, it's kind of fun saying their name.
8-bit do. And I've heard of 8-bit do and 8-bit do. I feel like 8-bit do sounds like the beginning of the sentence. Like 8-bit do NES controller as well, or something like that. So it's just, I don't know. Do sounds better to me.
8-bit do what Nintendo don't.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That actually reminds me, dude. Last week, I totally screwed up the title. I knew that you had said something funny that I wanted to name the show, but I couldn't quite remember what it was, so I was just scrubbing through. You said, God Bless Galoob, and that would have been an amazing episode title. Yeah. So, that's that. The SNES controller, I think it's coming out the next couple of months, maybe even sooner than that. I'll have the GameSpot article linked in the description. The last bit of news, the Nintendo Switch firmware 3.0 came out, and this added something that is very un-Nintendo, Dustin. It looked at my 3DS friends list and my Wii U friends list and allowed me to send an invite to them.
Hey.
Now, should it have always been just seamless? Yes. Should I need to take that extra step to invite them? No, but it's better than redoing all the friend codes.
Yes.
And it also counts Mitomo and Mario Run friends as well.
Hey, all right.
So,
I wonder how that's doing. I wonder if people are still playing Mario Run.
probably I do. I doubt people are still buying it, but I bet the people that bought it are still playing it.
Yeah, people are like trying to take stuff off their iPhones to make memory, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Super Mario Run!
Yes.
I forgot to download that."
You know what, though? I bet it gets a nice little surge when Odyssey's about to come out, or when it does. It's because it's Mario.
Download the Odyssey skin for free.
God, if there was like a DLC where there was like a hat-based level or something in Super Mario Run, that'd be great. So that was the thing that I guess stood out to me the most as far as the update was concerned, was the friends list stuff. But apparently there's also been an issue where the power delivery has been a little wonky. So if you have a TV that you either can't turn this off or you have the setting enabled, you know how if you turn on a device that's hooked up to a TV, it can recognize that you flipped it on and switch over to that input automatically for you?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently the Switch was releasing just enough to trigger that on a lot of TVs, even though no one had touched it. So you could be in the middle of watching something and the Switch would just flip the input over on you. This is like so irritating. But they fixed that in this patch as well. So that's good. It's funny that it came out that way. And also, this will disable the ability for the NFC amiibo thing to work, but you now can plug your Switch into a controller with a wire. You don't have to have a wireless connection anymore.
Cool.
So I believe the PS4 updated and did that too, which is great because if your controller's dead, these aren't removable batteries. It's nice to at least have that option. This is, of course, is just the Pro controller. You can't do this with the little Switch thingies, but if you're in that problem, just dock your Joy-Cons or whatever. And yeah, man, that's it. The Sega thing was the most exciting news item for me.
Yeah.
I was really... And the ads were aggressive, I'm not going to lie. They definitely make you want to spend $2 to turn them off. Like, I went to start a level, and a 5-second, like, video played. Like I'm playing some shitty iPhone game.
You're playing DuckTales?
God. You know what? At least I know that this is going to a good cause. DuckTales is just a middle finger every time it stopped. And actually, this only happened between scenes. It didn't stop my actual gameplay. I played a little Altered Beast just to try it out.
Cool.
But, yeah. All right, man. You have a very cool YouTube channel of the week.
Yes. Okay. So this guy, his name is John Learned, as in I just learned his name, and he has how many subscribers? Why doesn't it show me everything when it's?
I think it was only a few hundred, like 400 or 500, something like that.
Yes. Okay. So he has 439 subscribers, and right now he's doing a series called The Annotated Symphony of the Night. And he's going through the entire game, basically room by room, and talking about the room, every piece of equipment you pick up in that room, its backstory, like how it relates to like old Tolkien novels, like this is this and this Silmarillion, or this is Cthulhu. He is taken from H.P. Lovecraft, and it goes through. It is an exhaustive breakdown of everything in Castlevania Symphony of the Night and its roots. And it is amazing. He just released the 13th episode. That's the only bad part, is that he's still making it.
Yeah.
That's also the good part, is you can't just binge watch it, but you have something to look forward to. Yeah,
there's a lot there, and his video and audio quality is excellent. He has a really good voice. So it's not just that the material is good, it's presented really well, too.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's super in-depth. Because you had put this on the notes pretty early. So I was able to watch some of it, and I was really impressed. I couldn't believe he only had a few hundred subscribers.
Yeah.
This is the kind of video series that if this would have come out in 2011, 2012, this series would have started.
Oh, yeah. He'd be
hundreds of thousands of views, millions of
Johnny
views.
Millennium.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe he still will be.
Mm.
You know, fingers crossed.
But dig a little deep.
It's excellent. Like I was watching. I really enjoyed the Night Mines too. I went back and started watching the Marble Hornet stuff, and I liked this guy more even. Hey, Crazy Penguin, what's up? It's super. It spoils it on such a level that it's enjoyable to have it spoiled, because there's like I'm anal with spoilers, and I want to consume every little pixel he talks about. You know,
it's so good.
It's really impressive, and it's so well researched. Even if he was lying and making everything up, it's done in such a way I'd believe him anyways.
I want him to do every Castlevania game.
Oh God! And then have Blu-rays.
Yeah, when he's done with that, I don't know, just start on every other video game. I'll watch them all.
Yeah. I would love to know, or at least, no, I would like to see his workflow. Like how many notebooks he has or how many Google documents he has or whatever. That would be really cool. So, yeah, John learned, and check out his stuff. I'm going to link the playlist of the Annotated Symphony of the Night. And I didn't know what to expect when it was called the Annotated Symphony of the Night.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Ken Burns is a video game nerd. It's awesome.
Yes, it's so good. Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah, check that out. John Learned on YouTube, and particularly his Annotated Symphony of the Night. All right, Dustin. I got to hear some more about Resident Evil 7. My first question.
All right.
When you hit credits for the first time, clearly you enjoyed up to that point. Did you immediately jump back in, or was it that was a nice, like a satisfying ending? Not like maybe it didn't resolve well, but you know what I mean? Like, did you want to hit New Game Plus immediately, or did you have like a nice sense of satisfaction at the end of the game?
I felt good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a very well polished game beginning to end.
So you don't need to do the New Game Plus to have a really good experience. You're just doing it because you did enjoy it so much.
Right.
Okay. Because like Nier Automata or whatever, Automata, however you say it, I've heard so many people say definitively how to say it, but everyone else says it wrong. I don't know. But they talk about that game needing to go through several times to kind of get everything, and I didn't know if RE7 might have, I guess, more of a building story like that, because there were so many characters as far as people that you were in a party with or people that are in the house or whatever.
No, they pretty much tie everything up in a bow with, the exception of they leave it open for sequels.
Cool. I'm glad that a first person Resident Evil turned out well. I'm so amazed they were able to do that.
It is, like, having played it, I think it is the best thing they could have done.
It feels fresh enough.
Yeah, like it feels like playing the first game again.
That's incredible.
It feels like this new thing, this new horror experience that you're experiencing in this way that you've never done before, and it feels like Resident Evil.
I'd mentioned to you, my brother was able to, during the demo, say, "Oh, because this is Resident Evil, the world will behave like this." And sure enough, there was something that was in a drawer or something that was hidden It didn't necessarily make logical sense, but it made video game logic sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's amazing to me that he was immediately in the rules of the world, even though it was in VR form. He still knew, like, this is Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Paul's got some comments for you.
Okay. Paul says, finished RE7 first time 2 weeks ago. Was satisfied but wanted to get back into the house instantly on Madhouse. Enjoyed it from start to finish. Don't get why people enjoy the ship. That part of the game scared me more than anything. I agree. Yeah, at some points, you're kind of... This isn't super spoilery. You're stripped of your inventory for different reasons. And that portion is one of those reasons. Or one of those sections. I'm also I have to play it on Madhouse to get the Platinum, which is what I'm going for. But right now, I've already beat it today again on easy.
That's sweet.
And then restarted it, and I'm already like halfway through the game a second time today on easy.
So are you just using easy to rip through collectibles and stuff, and then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first time I went through, if you beat it in under 4 hours, you get a weapon called the circular saw, which is just like a wood cutting saw, like you'd see in normal everyday life. And some X-ray glasses. And the X-ray glasses point out all the items in the world, because otherwise they are super well hidden.
That's good. That you can unlock a codec or whatever to see everything, but...
So I ripped through in 4 hours, well, less than 4 hours. I did a few trophies on the way through on easy the first time. And now I'm trying to get all of the files, all of the antique coins, and all of the bobbleheads that are in the game.
Bobbleheads threw me off. I saw that was in the title of one of your streams, or maybe all of them. I'm like, what? Little collectible bobbleheads? I can see those being incredibly creepy.
Yeah. Well, they're just like these little football player dudes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had like a Five Nights at Freddy's kind of image of like dolls or bears or something with like creepy eyes. The fact that you're on a mission to platinum a game has me looking at it going, maybe I really do need it. I owe it to myself. I gotta watch some creepy, or play some creepy game. And this one isn't that long.
No, not too much. My first playthrough was a little under 9 hours.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, and that was my first, I don't know what I'm doing at all, backtracking, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Did you get this new?
Mm-hmm.
Was it on sale at all?
No, I think when I heard about it, I just went and bought it.
Okay. I wonder what it's going for now, like $30 or so, I'd guess.
I'd bet. I'd be surprised if it was more than 40.
That's one of those price points that can make it an impulse purchase for me.
Yeah.
Paul says I need to play it. I need to play a Resident Evil game. It's embarrassing that I haven't. I would go with either 2, 4, or 7 if I were to play right now. I would consider the Revelatons or Revelatons 2.
Yeah.
I have Revelations 2 on PC.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pay for it, but it came. I don't know. It came somewhere. Paul says 9 hours of crap in your pants. I watching my brother play. It was nerve wracking. I couldn't imagine being in the VR. How creeped out I would feel. I don't know. Maybe it would kick in the real fight or flight, where it would actually make my adrenaline get to the point where you're like, bring it. Like, I've gone berserk. I don't give a shit. I'm going to take you out. If you kill me along the way, like, whatever. Cool. Well, were there any games that... what would you have played had you not taken your day off and played all day? Anything on the to-do list?
Not really. I haven't finished Revelations 2. I bought Revelations 1 on PS3, and I haven't played through it yet. I'd like to play that for the channel.
Oh, wow.
I'd like to play through every Resident Evil.
I meant just like outside of Resident Evil, just like video games in general, but stick with the Resident Evil if you want, man.
Yeah, it's just got me in a Resi mood.
I didn't I didn't expect you to not have played through some of those. I'm surprised you have some of those missing from your list.
I think just Revelations 2 is one I haven't finished.
That's not a bit. I guess I'm just surprised.
Yeah.
I almost bought Revelatons, that misprint, but they shipped so many of those that it wasn't like a valuable misprint. It was just a colossal misprint.
I wonder if I have a Revelatons.
I would be shocked if you didn't, because they were all bad. If you got it reasonably close to release, you could not get it. I believe, man, I could be wrong there, but I felt like I know in my Walmart or Meijer, wherever I was, there was probably 10 of them that were clearly all Revelatons. How embarrassing. Cool, man. Well, I've played some stuff this week. One really, really horrible game. The U.S. Open was this weekend, the golf tournament, and I love the U.S. Open. And I guess that EA must have been... Oh, I got a cough. EA must have been really excited about the fact the U.S. Open was on, because I saw Rory McIlroy PGA Golf was available to download and install on my Xbox without paying for it. That game, I remember it getting really bad reviews, and I had the impression that it was bad because it was kind of empty, where a lot of the Tiger Woods games started to mature quite a bit as far as the granularity of the character creation and how well you could manipulate the ball and stuff like that. And this game is just a clunky mess. It was terrible. Unskippable cutscenes that you have to play through. So it was just jarring, because Tiger Woods, you could hit the ball and you could speed up the ball flight. So you could really get going really quickly. This game, it was hit a shot and then all this exposition, pretending I'm in a tournament with Rory McIlroy, who I'm a fan of his. I'm very disappointed that the game's almost unplayable. Give me... My favorite to this day is still 04 on the original Xbox. But I have, I guess it would be 12, the Masters one on 360. Substantially better. So I would not recommend Rory McIlroy PGA Golf, even if it's free. I finally fired up some Tokyo 42.
How's that?
Excellent. But I have a steep learning curve ahead of me. The controller support is bad on PC.
All right.
So I'm like, all right, I'll just use mouse and keyboard. And there's a lot that you can do. You're able to move the camera like 20, 30 degrees or something like that. And it's a button click. So if you had a controller, you hit the right or left bumper and it shifts the world around for you. On the keyboard, it's Q and E.
Okay.
Which makes sense. I'm not disputing that in any way. But I suck at keyboard controls. My left hand is bad. So I'm doing a poor job so far. And it's a tough game. I'm not surprised now that when Paul Taylor went to Giant Bomb and showed off like a kind of quick look DX thing or whatever they call it. I'm not surprised that Paul was the one that was playing. If you are a first time person playing this game, it's pretty dauntingly difficult, I think. At least for me it was. And I've been watching Paul play on his channel, and he makes it look super smooth and easy. But I will say it feels really good. The fact that you're able to jump from like 50 stories relative to the character size down and float, it feels really good. It's a good pace to your fall. And the accuracy is really easy because of the reticle that shows up underneath you. So it's, you know, sometimes in 3D platforming games, it's tough to just determine whether your platform's underneath you or not.
Yeah.
You have to use like some weird shadow mechanic or something like that. This actually really alleviates that issue. But I would also recommend probably playing with a mouse and keyboard if you can, because the right joystick, as far as aiming grenades and stuff like that, got a little challenging. But not in a... It just didn't have the granularity, I guess. Like, the fine-tuned controls just weren't there. But the music's incredible. Oh my god, it just sounds and looks so cool. But it's very difficult for me to play from a controlling standpoint. I'm sure I'll get better at it. So we'll see. I'm just kind of peeling away missions right now. I also I played more Mighty Gunvolt Burst. I played it on stream, but I've played it more since then, and I'm starting to learn the mechanics. So in a traditional Mega Man game, you beat a boss to acquire the power, right? In this game, you earn basically points that you can spend at any given time on a weapon, and then you can save your weapon. So there's crafting involved, where you can pick a bullet type, a trajectory, a curve, the amount of bullets that are on screen, how fast they move, how long the beam is. And every one of these things you opt into has a cost. So the more points you have available, they call it CPU. The more CPU you have available, the more you can have crazier upgrades. And then if you like it, you can save it as one of your slots. And I'm assuming, I haven't found the rock, paper, scissors element yet because I'm still low power. But I'm guessing it means that I will be able to craft weapons specifically for bosses I'm having trouble with. And you can create them on the fly. And you can toggle between them really easily. You don't have to do it between stages or anything. So you can be mid-boss fight and edit the weapon that you have now to change trajectory or change it from spark to fire or something like that. And or you can just make a whole new weapon. And there's probably like 30, 40 slots of weapons you can create and save, and you can write over them and whatnot. It's complicated, and that's not explained at all anywhere. So I'm slowly figuring it out for myself, but if I'm figuring it out, it's not that complicated. Like I didn't feel completely stuck. It was just sort of one of those, they trust you to have that aha moment where you're like, oh, I get it. And I started to have it towards the end of my stream I did last week, but it's great. It feels like Mega Man. It feels and looks like Mighty Number 9 should have.
Dude,
so
that's awesome.
Mighty Gunvolt Burst. Check it out. It's $10 on the Switch. I'm going to stream it again here in the next couple of weeks because now that I know what I'm doing, I'd like to explain it a little bit better because it's a game I would recommend. They're 2 for 2, man. Inti creates. Blaster Master, Blaster Master, and Mighty Gunvolt, both excellent. So, and that's only $20, and you get 2 great games, which is cool. Paul says it sounds like Dark Souls. Isn't it funny how like everything's compared to Dark Souls now? Even when they look at older games, it's still viewed through that lens. And even though I've never played a Dark Souls game, I find myself still using that as a measuring stick or a way to describe a mechanic in a game. It's cool. And it's such a generic term, or like Dark Souls. That could be anything.
Yeah.
Something about it. Good deal. Well, let's get to listener feedback, and then we'll call it a show.
All right.
Let's get to our good buddy Zarek. We heard from him for the first time. You want to first time in a while, I mean, which it's understandable, Zarek. Don't worry, man. I know you're doing big things. But you want to get his comment first, and then I'll get through Dumez.
Alrighty. He says, sorry, it's been a few episodes since I commented, but I'm still watching. I've been firing on all cylinders on my YouTube stuff. It's pretty consuming, but it's a lot of fun. Excuse me, it's a ton of fun. I'm growing pretty fast now. I hit 5K on my birthday. That will be an easy milestone to remember.
Congratulations.
Maybe.
I wasn't kidding when he's going to hit 10,000 before we do.
Yeah, no joke.
Like,
that's true.
We're looking at 2019. He's looking at 6 months.
I have been begging all day for subscriptions.
You got a couple?
Hopefully it'll come through. Let's see here. Maybe I'm just too cynical, but I thought this E3 was pretty bad. I don't trust Ubisoft. I don't care how good they were either. Ubisoft always has good presentations for their games. Watch Dogs, The Division, most of Assassin's Creeds, but I'm not counting them out completely. They have produced games like Rayman Legends in the past. I just find it extremely hard to get excited about anything they're producing.
That's fair.
I'm surprised you got. Yeah, that's true. They do bull shots a lot.
I kind of liked E3 this year. Like, I would say that it was good, but I think primarily because the consoles are pretty mature at this point.
Yeah.
So it was just games focused. So it was, I get hyped about looking at different styles of games and stuff.
Yeah. Systems are cool, but they're always just like, well, one day I'll get to play this.
Right.
And then because like one day you'll get to play it, and then the console releases, and then the launch games always suck anyways. So you're going to be like, well, maybe 6 months into the console's life, I'll actually have something to play.
Right. Yeah. So I think because I also had very low expectations.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was easy to impress this year. Okay. Sorry.
Let's see here. I'm surprised you guys didn't talk about paid mods from Bethesda. I didn't even hear anything about it, to be honest.
I did, but I've never even played a Bethesda game.
That's right.
So,
Total Biscuit's commentary on Bethesda made me laugh so hard. He defended Bethesda. One of his quotes was, "As long as they don't do anything like horse mods." WTF, he didn't pay enough attention. There was literally a mod in the video called Horse Armor. I nearly died laughing when I saw that with my viewers. I think the guy who put that video together was throwing shade on the whole project with that clip. I think that modders deserve to get paid for their work, but I don't see this going well.
It's kind of hard to rep. It's a little confusing right now how it's totally going to work. But it seems like there's going to be mods that you submit through their tools, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can buy them. But is this what Zerk's going to talk about? Yeah, he's going to bring up what I was going to say anyways. Okay.
So he says, I came up with a possible horror story with my viewers. This doesn't seem likely, but it's definitely possible. Bethesda games are always horribly broken, especially if you're playing them on the PC. Imagine the next Elder Scrolls or Fallout game is released with paid mods right from the beginning. The game is just as broken as always. They only fix a few of the bugs and move on to their next project. They leave in hundreds of bugs, and dozens of them are game-breaking, as always. Then, the modders release their unofficial patch that fixes a huge portion of those bugs. But this time, it's sold on Bethesda's store. There's a possible future with paid bug fixes. I have to agree with one of my people who said Bethesda would be insane to approve such a mod for their paid platform. Even if a modder purposed it, they would most likely say no for PR reasons. A good amount of mods for their games are about stability. If they don't explicitly state that stability mods will always be free, then I guarantee at least a few will get onto their paid platform.
I agree with his viewer that it's not quite, but it almost feels a little like mutually assured destruction. So
yeah,
everyone should have nukes so that no one will use a nuke, kind of a thing. Like, it would be such a bad PR move for them to have people pay for patches that I bet that they will. This is probably just a wait and see thing. Maybe these stability or high res packs or whatever, maybe those will still be free and easy to install outside, but they will maybe have bear mods or bikini mods. I don't know, like
clean faces.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe that'll be like some of the paid stuff. Like, maybe it won't be all or nothing, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Sweaty mod.
I can absolutely see this being a good thing in the end. I really could. Where Bethesda's winning, modders are getting paid for their work, and the consumer can also not be taken advantage of. I can see that happening. So I will keep my fingers crossed for the Bethesda fans out there that that's the way that it goes down. I did see that Skyrim is getting a PlayStation VR port. Because, of course.
Yeah.
They have a Sega Nomad port coming out, too. It's going to be freaking sweet.
I wouldn't be surprised. I can play it up here on my game comm.
So I'm super... You would have a game comm. So I'm super excited that I might now have the one thing I can't say no to regarding trying to play Skyrim for the first time. Except for the fact it's Bethesda, and I bet I get violently ill because of bugs. We'll see. If the reviews come out and it's decent, and there's no motion sickness, I'll actually probably give Skyrim a chance. I mean, come on, an RPG with dragons flying around in VR?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll also
fire in your face.
What if it'd be... That would actually potentially be incredible to look at. But it would look all fake and like it'd be just texture maps coming at you. It wouldn't look like fire. But it'd be cool nonetheless. But I wonder if it would maybe be cross-buy available. Where if I bought it on PSVR, it would maybe unlock the standard edition at least. I would hope so. On the PlayStation. I don't know if it'll be two completely separate SKUs, or maybe I just launch the game and they'll have a VR option in the menu.
Yeah, that'd be preferable.
But it might not, because it's probably a total rework, so they might not do that.
Oh, man, I haven't played Skyrim in a minute.
Sorry. Focus on Resident Evil. Resident Evil.
Right, yeah.
Skyrim doesn't exist. Don't look over there. Yeah, I mean, I do agree with Zarek. That would be a horror scenario, and it's not unfathomable. So, but Zarek, congratulations on YouTube going so well, man. I know.
Yeah, dude.
He's helped give us a good handful of subscribers recently, so it's very much appreciated. And
hashtag fourth grade.
That's right, fourth grade. So thanks, Zarek, and glad you're still listening, man. Dumez says, having no job and going to meetings, or having no job and therefore no meetings is way worse than having too much work and too many meetings. I agree.
That's true.
That's
100% true. Yep.
He says, trip off this man. In the future, a new Xbox One Y, he put that in quotes, will come out, and they will promise that every Xbox One X game must work on it. But the Y generation won't play OG Xbox One games. They could keep it so that it's always two models of Xbox that will play other games where they were two generations back for support. They could then release a new one every 3 to 4 years. I think that's the goal, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
And
sounds like
thanks to
a marketing thing.
Yeah, and thanks to Apple, a lot of us are conditioned to upgrading expensive equipment every couple of years. So I think that's what they're hoping for. And they can always dip back in. Eventually, they can have it all be backwards compatible and work. But, yeah, we'll see. He also says, dude, bros, I'm on holidays. I got a monster PC with me and an Oculus Rift. I played Star Trek Bridge Crew VR online with it, and holy ravioli cannoli, it's insane. And I played Robo Recall. If you check that out, it blows your mind. I was on the bridge, tactical. I target a ship, scan, launch torpedoes. And I even have these crazy fancy smancy touch controllers. It is really like your own hands are inside the game. And a full room setup with 3 cameras is crazy. Dude, that's amazing. That is so cool.
That's just your holodeck. That's what that is.
Eerily close to one, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard about these? It's much more close to augmented reality, but basically take a warehouse, and instead of doing a laser tag setup, you get like a portable Rift, and it knows where you are at all times, and so you're in a world that has tangible objects that you have to move around and whatnot, but you're actually in like a game and not running around some stupid warehouse, but you're actually free to move around. You're not tethered to anything.
Cool.
That sounds like just a crazy amount of fun.
Yeah.
He also says, don't mess with Metroid Prime on Cube. Make sure to play the Wii versions, especially Prime 3. He would guess because the levels were designed with the pointer controller in mind. And you can get them on the Wii U eShop right now. I did not know that.
Cool. I didn't either.
He says, the geniuses that brought us Mighty Number 0, I think he meant 9, also made Gunvolt series, which is true. He says, not sure if I knew that. I did not when I talked about when I talked about Mighty Gunvolt Burst last week. I did not realize everything that NT Creates had been involved with. They're former Capcom people that started the company in like 96. They've worked on a ton of different Mega Man properties. They did work on Mighty Number 9, and the Gunvolt person in this game, and also the unlockable character in Blaster Master, is from a game called the Azure Striker, or the Azure Strike. And I guess it's an awesome Mega Man style platformer, and this is a game with both those characters. Now, I've only played as Beck, the Mighty Number 9 guy. I've not played as Gunvolt, but you get to select at the beginning of a save file which one you want to play, which is cool. They didn't make the cut. Denied. Dumbass says, also, he says, we call it zucchini bread. As if it is zucchini bread, as if it is health food. But let's not kid ourselves. That shit is cake. You're muted, Dustin.
Damn it. How did that happen? We call it, I think he said, we call it zucchini bread.
Oh, it.
As if it's food.
As if it's bread, not, yeah. I made some banana bread.
That really cracked me up. That shit is cake.
That shit is cake. He's right.
Yeah.
Because it's made with a batter. And there's no proving. You use baking powder and baking soda, or either or, to get the rise while it bakes, instead of proving it to let the yeast do its thing.
Huh.
So yeah, it's totally a cake. And horrible for you. It's measuring butter in cups. That's a lot of freaking butter. That shit tastes good though. Oh, here he is. Dumbass says, "Oh, I really like Azure Strike Gunvolt. That's that 3DS game I just mentioned." He says, "I have it on the 3DS and Steam. It's really cool." So I also have Gunvolt 1 and 2 double pack physical for the 3DS. He's not yet opened it. Not yet opened it, as I have not beaten 31 yet. Or the first one, I'm guessing. He says, a nice piece of physical games for sure. And then also JJ commented. He's another Canadian. And that's very, very cool. We're just getting international, man. Where are our U.S. listeners at?
They're all listening to other podcasts, I guess. Damn. They're listening to Canadian podcasts.
Or Japanese ones. Maybe there's like some Japanese podcasts that they're like, why are all these Americans downloading a Japanese show?
Right.
But yeah, thank you very much. Paul, thanks for joining very much tonight. And Dumaz Zarek. Go check out their YouTube videos. Dumaz is Duhmez. And Zarek is Xearrik. You just search for those, you will find them. Well, cool, man. What? Man, my allergies have just been crushing me this whole season. It sucks. But that's going to be it for the show. So, Dustin, we managed to get in another short one.
All right.
Which, that's fine with me. Clocking in right at an hour. So, want to go over the show notes stuff. Okay, so if you'd like to support the show, you can use our Amazon affiliate links in the description, both on YouTube or our website or your podcast app will have the links available. Also, I forgot to mention this, Dustin, and it's very appropriate. We're a video game podcast. if you buy digital video games through the Amazon affiliate link, that's our highest commission. It's just the highest payout of any of them. So I will have a digital games list linked, so you can just browse digital games. I think you can buy like Nintendo ePoints with it or whatever, and that'll
Cool.
count. So Amazon had these kind of predetermined. So I have a link to U.S. digital games, and then Canada has the best-selling digital games list. And then there's also random regular Amazon links. If you buy anything by clicking through that link to get to Amazon, we'll get credit for it. So also there's Super Chat if you guys ever catch us live and you'd like to give us a tip, that's available. And you can find that at youtube.com/Classic Elite. If you want an RSS feed, that's available on our website, Classic Elite, Classic L337. That's classicelite.com. Also, if you use that term and search on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, or SoundCloud, you will find us there as well. That's also the name for all of our social media. We're most active on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and, of course, YouTube. We do a little bit on Twitch and Mixer, maybe. I don't know. Follow us there if you want. We may do something with it. And then also, big thank you to Ben Landis for letting us use his song Through the Forest as our intro music. And yeah, that's going to be it for this week. Dustin, before I get to outro music, anything you wanted to talk about before we call it an episode?
Play Resident Evil. All of them.
All of them. Just yes. Even 5 and 6.
Well, maybe not 6.
Maybe not 6. Okay. I knew one of those.
If you can get it cheap. If you can get it cheap.
Okay.
Play it.
You probably can. No one...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's available. People will give that to you. Just put something on Reddit. It's like, oh, okay, thank you. But this week, we got a new follower on SoundCloud, Dustin.
Okay.
They're called 26 Hate, and they're from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil.
Sweet.
And it's a synthwave artist.
Cool.
So they've got an album I was listening to today, and they called it Dark Electronic or Dark Electro or something like that. And it was awesome. It's got a super cyberpunk feel to it. And
All
on
right.
his SoundCloud, he has a cover of one of my favorite Carpenter Brute songs, Turbo Killer. It's the one that had the crazy car chase and the devil ladies in it or whatever. Awesome
Sweet.
video. Awesome song.
Yeah.
And 26 Hate did a cool cover, so I'm going to play that today. And, yeah, my synthwave stuff is... what are the odds? Me saying I'd like to play more synthwave and cyberpunk stuff, and then we get a synthwave artist to follow us just like that?
They're just coming to us.
Yeah. We're like the new Capitol Records. We're just like... That'd be great. So, but anyways, yeah, 26 Hate from Rio de Janeiro. This is a cover of Turbo Killer from Carpenter Brute. Hopefully you will enjoy it. So thank you very much for listening to episode 236 of the Classic Elite Podcast, and we'll see you next week for episode 237.
Boosh.
All right, Paul. Hey, you are very welcome, and I look forward to you being able to join us again. Hopefully,
Yeah, dude. Thanks.
we helped you start the day well. I'm going to shut down the stream. Everybody, thank you for watching and joining, and we'll see you next week.